Hi there, my name is John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we are part of the ELCA, and welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text. We tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree, or the garage, or the kids' room, or the junk drawer, something like that. Thank you so much for your partnership in this ministry. I am so glad you are here, and if your congregations forget to tell you, you're rocking it, and thank you for the love that you show your families and your kids. I am not in my office. I'm not where I normally record. I am in Sun River, Oregon. We are gathered for our Synod Assembly, and I'm in a room that it's the room I'm staying in, and I think they got the wrong room because it's pretty impressive. Anyway, so I thought, I'm going to record a children's sermon or a Dollar Store children's sermon here. So this is for the narrative lectionary, and we're looking at the gospel. Oh, actually, we're looking at Philippians, and we're looking at the Christ hymn. And so I'm here. I actually meant to bring a hymnal because that's the springboard. If your tradition, and we're running, I couldn't find the word. If your tradition is that you have a hymnal, even if you're using a projector to where you project the screens on there, but you have a hymnal, this is a good opportunity to do that, where you have the hymnal open and you're reading a hymn. You're kind of like, you could walk out with the hymnal open. You're like, oh, that's interesting. Really? That happened? What? I did not see that coming. In this Philippians text, it's the Christ hymn. It's thought that there's one of the most ancient hymns found in the Christian tradition in this text, lifting up who Christ was, what Christ did, and the emptying of oneself, and all of those things that make it's this good hymn. These lines that tell us about who Jesus is, what Jesus did, and it's thought to be this hymn. And I thought, what better way to teach why we sing the hymns? One of the things, as a pastor, you always get, Pastor, are we going to sing all 27 verses of the hymn? Well, we might not sing all 27 verses, but there's a reason why they were written. It tells a story, and there's the beginning, and there's the end, and it lays out a story. And I like that idea of tying Scripture, this Philippians text, into our worship service. And it's like, why do we sing? Why do we sing because of Psalms and lifts up, but we sing these hymns for a reason. They tell a story, and they're verses. If we pay attention to the words that we sing, the verses we sing, it goes up. It opens or expands the story. So that's the springboard, a hymnal or a hymn, and you could pick a well-known hymn. Hymn that, or a camp song that I remember singing as a kid was out of Ephesians. And now I can remember it, and now I'm going to probably hit stop and it'll come, but tender-hearted, loving one another, just as God, for Christ's sake, has forgiven you. Ephesians 4:32. Anyway, so it's Ephesians 4:32, even though I'm forgetting some of the words. But that hymn, or that camp song, ties it all in for me. So that's the springboard. I'm hoping that might be helpful for you, for your own children's sermon, as you think about the Christ hymn, as you think about these words that Paul writes to the church of Philippi. And it's a great section of Scripture. In one of the commentaries from Working Preacher, they said, a pastor or a preacher could write probably 6 or 7 sermons on this. So I know that there are other springboards in here, and you could do a search and find other places that I've done something on this. But that's where I'm being drawn to today, is that the ancient hymns and the hymns that we sing, and that tie us to the priesthood of all believers, ties us to the cloud of witnesses that we hear about in Hebrews. So anyway, There we are. Thank you so much for your partnership in this ministry. Thank you for being here. If you haven't liked the video, please do. Subscribe to the channel. Tell people about this, and I appreciate you all. All right? We will see you next week. Peace.